Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and thanks very much for joining us today on our webinar, which is dedicated to access students, and we're going to today focus on our courses that we offer up at our Magee campus. My name is Michael McCampbell, and I work in student outreach and recruitment at Ulster University. I'm delighted today to be joined by my colleagues, Paula Brogan, who's in Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Jerome Marley, who looks after the Faculty of Life and Health Science, Carol Reid from the Ulster Business School, and Maeve Paris from Construction Engineering and the Built Environment. So just to quickly run through a bit of an order for today, I'm going to just introduce the session, talk a wee bit about the university. I'll pass over to my colleagues. They'll talk about the courses within their faculties. And then I'll do a bit of a roundup, just covering UCAS and a couple of key dates and your personal statement. And then any questions that come in, we'll answer them all at the end. So do make use of the Q&A. You can see it there either at the top or bottom of your screen. It'll come in. Post any questions on there and we'll be happy to take them. If you want in the chat, also just pop a comment in there in the courses that you're interested in. Again, in between, Jerome and the other guys will be able to reply back if there's anything that pops into your head as we're going through the presentation. Please, as I say, make use of the Q&A or the chat. So we'll make a start. First of all, just why Ulster University. So I'm not going to go through all the stats in this slide, but just pick out a couple of big ones in terms of we're first in the United Kingdom for optometry, second for UK in land and property management, ninth in the UK for Celtic studies, fifth for pharmacy, pharmacology, so 11th in UK for accounting and finance, and accountancy, which we offer at our Magee campus, and 13th in the UK for nursing, again, which we offer up at Magee. So lots of stats on the university. You'll get them all on our website when you go searching for a course, which Jerome will go through later on. There'll be videos on there on our existing students, maybe students who have graduated from the course and gone on to succeed and do great things. And then there'll also be stats in terms of how the university compare against other universities that offer similar courses. So if all that's important for you, say you'll get it all on our website. Just to, again, give you a bit of breakdown, just Ulster University has 4 campuses spread throughout Northern Ireland. So we have our Jordanstown campus, which will be closing this year. So students, the majority of the courses that are delivered there will be moving to Belfast. We're building a brand new campus in Belfast city centre. We already have one existing there. So if they were doing likes of art and photography, graphic design, things like that, would be in that campus. But across the road from that, we're building a brand new one where the courses that are taught in Jordanstown will be moving to that new campus in Belfast. Then we have a campus up around the north coast at Coleraine. So if you're interested in likes of biomedical science, biology, psychology, geography, marine science, those kind of things that are taught at our Coleraine campus. But today we are focusing on our Magee campus, where again the guys will chat you through the courses that we offer there. So on the next slide, I just have a video I'm going to play. It's 3 or 4 minutes long. It'll just give you a nice feel for the campus and what goes on there, and hopefully you will find it useful.
Studying in Magee has so much to offer. The people, the food, the nightlife, the crack, it really is the city of culture. When you think of Magee, you might not think of Harry Potter, but here on campus, students have nicknamed the Martha Magee building Hogwarts because of its stunning Gothic architecture. Although we don't yet offer a degree in magic, some of our teaching staff here on campus are wizards in their field. Whenever you enrol here at Ulster University Magee, this is where your journey begins, because this is where the amazing Freshers' Fair takes place. You'll have the chance to meet new people, join clubs and societies and get involved. It doesn't get more magic than that. Magee is magical, it is also very modern. Ulster University has invested over £11 million in recent years into the development of the state-of-the-art teaching block. It includes the latest technologies, space, Now you can find the latest books, academic journals, as well as our modern social and study areas. Magee students are a proud people, and we are super proud of our Students' Union here in Magee. A family for all students and a source of support whenever you need it. Whether you need some advice, representation, or just someone to talk to, our Students' Union team here at Magee are always on hand to help. If you've got a sporty bone, then you'll love our 3G sports pitches and fitness centre here on campus. You can also join a range of sports clubs including Gaelic football, soccer, rugby, basketball and loads more. One of the best things about the Magee campus is actually living on it. Each September, Duncragan Student Village welcomes hundreds of students from across the UK, Ireland and beyond, and is a thriving community a mere 5 minutes from campus. Here you'll make lifelong friends, live independently and experience life in Derry. But the best thing about studying in Magee has to be living in Derry. Not only is it much more affordable to study here than Belfast, but everything you need is within a walking distance. The nightlife here is incredible, with live music and cool gigs every weekend. But don't take it from me, discover the city for yourself.
Okay, so hopefully that'll give you a good feel for the campus and the life and the activities, what goes on there. I personally am based on Jordanstown campus, but I love going to the Magee campus. It really has a really great feel about the place, and it is a brilliant campus to study on, but also to interact and meet friends and live on, and hopefully continue on your student journey there. So I'm going to pass over to Maeve, and she's going to take you through this section of the presentation.
Thanks very much, Michael. My name is Maeve Paris, and I work for the Faculty of Computing Engineering in the Built Environment, but the school in Magee is called Computing Engineering and Intelligent Systems, and I'm going to rattle through the various courses that you can do there, but I think I wanted to start by saying, as an Access student, the world is at your feet. In a very short space of time, you can have your pick of courses. Generally speaking, an Access course can lead anywhere. If there's a subject requirement, you need to have an Access course in, say, computing or science or maths. But in most cases, you can have your pick of courses if you get the correct overall mark. And a question just came in before we started, and it's just to also reiterate that an Access course gives you three things. It gives you a level 3 qualification equivalent to 3 A levels. It also gives you GCSE grade C equivalent in English. So if you need to have English to get on a course at GCSE level, the Access course includes that. And it also should give you GCSE grade C equivalents in maths. And you'll see that in the offers as we go ahead. So Michael, if you could please go forward to the next slide. We have computing and engineering courses at the school in Magee. And I have to say that I am biased. I'm entirely biased because I consider myself to be very privileged to work in Magee. If any of you have seen the campus, it's a fabulous campus. It's a blend of old and new. You've also got the Foyle Arts Centre, and you've got the business school, and you've got our big hub of robotics and general things like that. It's a fantastic campus, although I have to say I haven't seen my office since the 16th of March. So I hope it's still okay, but some classes have been back, and I think a bit like the colleges, some courses which demand access to particular hardware or software, they are being taught face-to-face and supplemented by online learning. Last year, 14 Access students came to Magee, which is huge. And not from just the niche courses that we would run in the faculty, but also from things like Access and Combined Studies. So we're very, very pleased with that. Computing is where all the jobs are. The computing industry has been virtually pandemic proof, and in fact they are recruiting stronger than ever before. So if you're looking for a job, I could steer you very closely towards computing. Although the top job postings at the moment in Northern Ireland appear to be in warehousing, which is probably something to do with Brexit coming up, but computing is very, very strongly advertised, and they're looking for skills in Java, Amazon Web Services, data analysis and React, etc. Any Access course will get you on any of those courses apart from the BN John's Artificial Intelligence. So if I have a quick word about the BN John's Artificial Intelligence, it's an engineering approach to AI. When I started out, we had this daft idea that artificial intelligence was all about replicating human beings and making robots that you would talk to, and maybe getting a robot to beat you at chess and things like that. And, you know, we have moved on massively. We do a lot of work in robotics on the Magee campus, and the city deal is going to ramp that up even more. We do quite a lot brain-human interfacing. So for example, if you take somebody who can't move, you can actually get them to use their brain to make things move for them. We do quirky kinds of things like analysing feelings from text or analysing feelings from word conversations. We do a lot of chatbot development. So often if you ring a call centre, you may not actually be interfacing with a person. You may initially be interfacing with a chatbot, although you won't necessarily be aware of it. So all of those things are part of artificial intelligence, just moving things around in space as well. So if you want to get on that course, you do need to have a science or technology or maths or engineering access. But for the other three courses, any Access course will get you on. Computer science would be the big main course to do, and it's going to give you a solid grounding in all aspects of computer science, including programming, obviously. There's a particular path through that. If you're interested in systems development, we have computer science bracket software systems development. And then we also have information technology, so applied IT, using IT in information systems. All of the courses have compulsory placement in year 3, which is very well paid. Many of our students are earning around £20,000 for that particular year in business, which also helps to pay off any student loans that you have. So those are the 3 main courses that we have in computing. And then we also have artificial intelligence. The other side of the faculty, Michael, if you would please go forward, is our engineering degrees. Now, I guess I neglected to tell you that we're the top university in Northern Ireland for computer science. At the Guardian, the one I'm holding in front, the Guardian Good University Guide 2021 places us top in Northern Ireland for computer science. And that means that our graduates get jobs. Our students are highly satisfied. And in fact, Magee is one of the happiest campuses in the whole of the UK if you measure it by student satisfaction. Similarly, for engineering, we are the top university in Northern Ireland for mechanical engineering. And we are 12 points ahead of our nearest competitor. So we're very, very strong. And we're also 13th in the UK for electrical and electronic. So you can do electrical and electronic, or you could do electrical engineering with enterprise development. So that combines electrical engineering with business type modules. You can also do mechanical and manufacturing. And then we have a very big stream of renewable energy engineering. If you look out your window in the Northwest, you won't have to look very far to see things like wind turbines and wave energy being harnessed. So those are the key themes for those particular courses. Just a little word about the offer. So on the next slide, you will see the prospectus offer. I'm just going to show you 2 offers. So Michael, if you would move forward, please. We have a thing called an equivalence table, and we'll send you the link to it afterwards. All of our offers align. So we want to be fair to everybody regardless of what they turn up with. So if we're looking at, for example, 3 Bs at A level for computer science, the lookup table tells us that that equates to 65% overall in your level 3 access program. We'll take any access program. It includes level 2, so it includes your access diploma as a whole includes level 2 essentially communication. So that's GCSE English equivalents. And then for some courses, we also require proficiency in maths. So you'll have a NICATS maths module on level 2, and we'll just look to see what you've got in that. And I'm going to ask Michael to move to the next slide just to see how it's slightly different for something like mechanical and manufacturing. It's also BBB, but if you'll see, if you're presenting with A levels, you need one from a list, and you can see what they are: maths, further maths, etc. So if you're going to present with that access course, we would accept science and technology access. So for example, I know in Northwest Regional, there's an access diploma in science. And again, we need 65% overall and 65% in the NICATS maths. So that's just a quick overview of the course. The last slide, Michael, is just to explain, if you want to come on to us full-time, you apply through UCAS. If you want to come part-time, you apply directly to us, and you can apply up to the day the course starts. And all of our courses run full-time and part-time. People always say, do you guarantee a place? And we say, well, we don't guarantee anything, but we have places for you, and we are particularly proud and pleased to welcome Access students. So we'll make you a conditional offer as outlined, and if you meet the offer, we have a place for you, and we will be delighted to welcome you on campus. If anybody has any questions about any particular courses, Michael will be putting out a general email address at the end of the presentation, and all queries then can be forwarded to me. So thank you very much for listening. As I said, we'd love to welcome you on campus. Magee is a lovely campus. It's a hive of activity. It's cross-disciplinary. There's music going on in one corner, sports in the other. It's a very rich place to study, and the city itself is a very interesting place to live in as well. Thank you. I'm now going to pass you over to Carol at the Business School.
Lovely. Thanks very much for that, Maeve. And I can only echo Maeve's comments about Magee, and certainly the city where I've spent many happy times being entertained in the city. So yes, I would encourage you to strongly think about Magee campus as your choice for coming on to university. I want to just talk to you about the opportunities in the Ulster Business School at Magee. And we really offer a couple of different types of courses. We have a specialist courses in accounting, and I will also look at our specialist courses in analytics and computing. And then we have generic business courses as well. But accounting is always a very popular course for students. And the reason it's so popular is that they can see a clear career path coming out of that accounting degree. And within our accounting degree, we also make sure that we have maximum professional body recognition through the choice of our modules and our study. You will see along the bottom that our course at Magee is recognised by the Chartered Accountants Ireland, ACCA and CIMA as the 3 key professional bodies in the accounting arena. And if you undertook an accounting degree, chances are you'll become either a trainee chartered accountant. You may want to move into tax or management accountants. You may want to be more of a generalist and become an office manager, or indeed move into a graduate management trainee post, having undertaken that accountancy type approach. So there are strong job and career opportunities within accounting, and loads of opportunities across the province, further afield, and maybe specifically if you want to stay locally within the Derry, London Derry area. Again, a lot of strong opportunities there. Michael, if you move to the next slide for me, please. So the accounting courses that we offer at Magee is what we call our BSc Hons Accounting with Specialisms. And the structure of this programme allows you to decide that you want to specialise in a particular type of accounting. So maybe you want to specialise in the taxation side, or maybe in management accountant, or within the information systems side of accounting, which is that growing digital area. Entry to our programmes in the accountancy sphere all require the MAS GCSE requirement. But as Maeve had mentioned earlier on, your Access Diploma will cover the English language requirement, the entry for any of our undergraduate programmes at Magee, and if you undertake the NICATS MAS module, to gain entry to an accounting programme, we just ask for a performance of 70% in your NICATS MAS. We have no other subject requirements across any of our programmes in the business faculty. Your other option, if you're thinking about accounting, is you might want to combine it with another area in business like marketing. So again, there's a possibility of doing almost like a joint program, half of it marketing and half of it accounting. And as with Maeve's courses, all our courses offer the opportunity to complete a one-year placement or study abroad. Our study abroad options are generally to America, into Europe, or into Australia or other regions like that where you're taught through the medium of English. That third-year option of placement or study abroad is actually optional in all our programs, but it's a great opportunity to further build your employability skills by taking up that option. Next slide, please, Michael. I'd mentioned earlier on that in addition to accounting and general business, we have some specialist business courses on offer at Magee. We have a business analytics course. This is a particularly strongly growing area, particularly in the professional services sector, within the financial services sector particularly. And it's about that relationship between data and information technology that is used to try and analyse and understand how business operate and to make decisions in the future. And we also have our business with computing course. And again, as Maeve has mentioned when she was looking at her engineering courses and some of them combining with a business or an enterprise option, those are two areas that work very well together in that business and computing field. So really you're talking about a graduate working within a business setting that has a strong understanding and knowledge of technology and how digital transformation in fact will be able to drive the business's future success. So loads of opportunities there. Again, you will see that our entry requires the NICATS MAS, but because it's not an accounting module, we're just looking for a pass in that NICATS MAS rather than a 70% performance. Next slide, please, Michael. Then the last option, I suppose, to study business at the Magee campus is our business studies with specialisms. And business is the backbone of all economies, so obviously business skills and competencies are very highly sought, both in the commercial or the private business sector, but also in the public and voluntary sectors. So a lot of job opportunities and career options if you take a business studies course. And within that business studies course, you can choose to specialise either in accounting. What that specialism means is that every year on a full-time programme, you will take 6 modules of study. 4 of them will be in general business areas, 2 of them will be in the specialist area, like say accounting. We also offer specialisms in enterprise or in marketing. Again, we have a MAS requirement, but it's only a pass in your NICAT MAS. And all of those courses offer the opportunity for a one-year placement or study abroad. And the vast majority of our students, even though that's only an option, do take up that opportunity and have a fantastic experience in that third year. And it really has helped make them much more employable when they graduate. Next slide, please, Michael. As with Maeve's faculty, we also offer part-time options in the Magee campus. So you can study either your accounting or your business with specialisms in a part-time mode, because for some students, they need to undertake the part-time study. Maybe they have work commitments, maybe they have home life or caring responsibilities. So the flexibility and the pace of that part-time study works much better for them. So if you finish your access programme and you're not sure that you can commit to perhaps full-time study, do think strongly about that part-time option where you can manage that alongside everything else that's going on in your life. And that's a very strong option for people in that scenario. So again, as Maeve says, we really would love to welcome you to the Magee campus and to the business faculty if you're interested in a business career. And we wish you the very best of luck with your access programme going forward. I'll now pass you across to Jerome, who will talk to you about life and health sciences.
Thanks, Carol. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. Jerome Marley is my name. And I'm from the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences. And what I'll do today is I'll share with you some of the programs from within our faculty that we deliver on our Magee campus. And I would echo everything that Maeve and Carol have said thus far about life on the Magee campus and the opportunity that it offers you. The same relates to my own faculty. I'm also an academic in the School of Nursing, a lecturer in the School of Nursing, so I can maybe bring a little bit of added flavour to that as well. As you can see here, the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences is one of 4 faculties in the university. And within my faculty, we have 8 schools. And each of those schools offers degree programs across Magee, Belfast, Jordanstown, and in our Coleraine campus. So we've got biomedical sciences, health sciences, pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences, the School of Sport, geography and environmental sciences, my own school, School of Nursing, School of Psychology, and a new school that we have, you've probably heard about it in the news of late, we have a School of Medicine. The School of Medicine is a bit unique in that there are a few of them in the UK, and they are reserved for graduate entrants. So any graduate who of any degree program who at a later stage in their life thinks that they would like to do medicine, then our School of Nursing our School of Medicine rather is appropriate for them. But it's not presently a School of Medicine that accepts anyone who doesn't already have a degree. Thanks, Michael. I'll take the next slide, please. So essentially, I want to draw your attention to, I suppose, 5 main programs, and I know that some of you already are interested in these, so I hope what I say will be of use to you. Within my own school, first of all, let's start off with the BSc Nursing Adult program. It's a 3-year program, as indeed is its sister program, the BSc Nursing in Mental Health. Now, I'll give you a little bit more information about those in a second, but you know, it really is interesting. These programs are described as pre-registration programs. What does that mean? It means that the program has been designed explicitly using the guidelines from the professional body, and the professional body is set up by Parliament in order to ensure the protection of the public. And anybody who wants to practice as a nurse in the United Kingdom needs to realise that nursing is a protected title. So it means that you have to have a certain level of preparation. It means that you need to be registered with a professional body set up by Parliament to do that. And you can be absolutely assured that both of our programs in Nursing Adult and in Nursing Mental Health are set up to ensure that you meet the guidelines of the professional body entitled the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So that means that when you graduate from our BSc nursing programs, either adult or mental health, you are automatically registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council and can become a staff nurse. And I guess, you know, 30 years ago, I'm celebrating my 30th anniversary as a nurse. I graduated as a nurse from Ulster 30 years ago. I started in 1986, and at which time it was a 4-year program. And I have to be really honest with you. My decision to come to Ulster, I didn't follow a normal path. I had failed my A-levels. I went off and started another career. And then at some point, I just decided, you know something, it's nursing that I want to do. So I applied to Ulster, and I was successful and got entry. And became a nurse 30 years ago, and going to Ulster made all of the difference in my life. And I'm sure that it would be exactly the same for you as well. And I'd love to encourage you to come to Ulster. We have around about 1,300 applicants every year for somewhere in and around 300 or 300-ish. It's a bit of a sliding scale. Sometimes the Department of Health gives us more places, and of course there's no fees involved, and you get a bursary and so on. So there's quite a crowd of people who want to come and do nursing, and as you know, healthcare is in the news every minute, every hour, every day at present, and the role that nurses and other members of the healthcare team, the role that they play is really, really vitally important. So we'll speak in a little bit about some pieces of information with regards to the interview and the filling out of your personal statement that I think are really, really important. But they're not just important to anyone who's considering doing nursing, they're important for anyone who's applying to Ulster. And there are certain things that you really need to do in order to make yourself stand out. So we'll discuss those in a couple of minutes. Now at Ulster, we also offer within the School of Nursing another brand new programme, and that is the BSc Paramedic Science. As you know, you see ambulances around the place all of the time, and they're usually crewed by 2 paramedics. And the paramedics also have a professional body, and that's called the HCPC, or the Health and Care Professionals Council. Now, the HCPC have recently decided that if you want to become a paramedic in the United Kingdom, then you have to have a degree. So we have responded to that, and we now offer at Ulster from September 2021 a BSc Paramedic Science program that will prepare you to be a paramedic. And that's a role, just like nursing, that's changing all of the time. Paramedics are no longer just simply those people who you see in ambulances, but they're now going into areas like hospitals, particularly emergency departments, to primary care facilities such as GPs and so on and so forth. So that's a really exciting role and a really exciting program that you might also want to consider. We also have a BSc Personalised Medicine program. Now, I suppose we need to clarify what that is. And really, personalised medicine, or stratified medicine, or precision medicine, as it used to be known, is really a fairly cutting edge and a brand new discipline in healthcare. And effectively, it's essentially a program that prepares graduates not to become doctors, but to perform a different role in healthcare, and that is to really work with things such as genes, or lifestyle, or environment, or treatment options, in order to ensure that they can advise on the right treatment for the right person at the right time, and to really assist us to tailor healthcare to the people who need it. And there are many career opportunities that exist in that program, such as research scientists or working within NHS laboratories, industrial sciences, policy making, and so on and so forth. So that really is an exciting career, and there are many access students over the last couple of years who have found that an attractive program. Similarly, we also offer another innovative program. It's called the BSc Sports, Physical Activity and Health, again with an optional placement year. And this really is I suppose complementary to the programs that we've mentioned before, in that the person who's highly skilled in terms of understanding the role of sport and physical activity and health is really very valuable. And you'd see people who have got this kind of degree program, who are graduates of this kind of degree program in many areas, including health centres, of course, but also in other public areas such as sports facilities, working with sports teams, advising in terms of consultancy, and so on and so forth. So you can see that there are lots of health-related programs that we offer at our Magee campus that you may well find very exciting. Before I go to the next slide, I just want to say this. Certainly as far as the BSc Nursing or the BSc Nursing Adult Health is concerned, graduating as a staff nurse is but the first point. And the careers that flow thereafter are wide and varied. Now, that's not to say that you may not choose to remain as a staff nurse. Absolutely. That's fantastic. In my own class, and we were very small at that time, we were only about 21. But we already have about 3 or 4 people who 30 years later are still performing the role of staff nurse. But we also have other people who are heads of school, research directors, specialist nurses, advanced nurse practitioners, district nurses, public health nurses, teachers. So in terms of nursing, as was said earlier on, in terms of nursing, the world really is your oyster. And Ulster University and the School of Nursing at Ulster University, as Michael had mentioned earlier on, is 13th in the UK. It's also really significant that last year we were in the top 100 of the schools of nursing in the world. This year, we just learned about 2 weeks ago, we're in the top 50. So you can be assured that whatever program it is that you select from Ulster University, you will be receiving excellent education. Michael, have the next slide, please. So just in case it's of interest to you, the BSc nursing, for example, and mental health nursing, and indeed paramedic, in terms of what requirements you need with your access diploma, it's an overall mark of 63%. That's really important for you to know, because it can help you to keep on track and to improve your own performance so that you get to where you want to go. And for nursing, you also need to have 1 level 3 science, and if you need an ICATS, then it's at 25 credits, and most of the access programs in Northern Ireland have already been considered for entry into the School of Nursing. So you can see there also, with regards to personalised medicine, it's 65% in the access programs, and 63% also for sport, physical activity, and health. Okay, Michael, thank you. Next. Somebody wants to sell me something on my telephone, but my wife will get it downstairs. I suppose I wanted to have a little conversation with you with regards to application, and not telling anything out of school, but every year in the School of Nursing particularly, and use this only as a case in point, but it applies no matter what your program is. Every year in the School of Nursing, we interview applicants, and in a way that I hope you understand is not in the least bit patronising. The people I love to see coming for interview are indeed access students, because you bring with you a wealth of understanding of the world and maturity, and are very, very driven in order to achieve the goal that you want to achieve. But to help you to do that, I think it's really important that whether it's Maeve's school or Carol's school, or my colleague who'll come after me, Dr. Paula Brogan's school, the important thing for you to do is to ensure that you make the right choice for you. Personalize your journey in order to shape your future. Your future is too precious a thing. And it's really, really important that you clearly understand the program that's right for you. And then in order to ensure that you give of your best, either in writing your application, your personal statement, or indeed if it's the School of Nursing that you come for interview, that you give of your best there as well. It's really, really important that you understand what the program that you're applying for is about. You would be amazed. I always am every year when we interview people and you're discussing with them, so what do you think the role of the nurse is, or what do you think is involved in this program? And far too often, I have to tell you, people really haven't taken the opportunity to do a little bit of homework, I guess. And this is still the person who desperately wants to be a nurse, who has in their head some understanding of what it is to be a nurse. But when we discuss it with them, they really aren't able to explain to us what it is that nursing is about, or what it is that the program of nursing offered at Ulster is about, or whatever program it happens to be. So Ulster has taken this really seriously, and it wants to then provide you with information at your fingertips that you can tailor to your needs. Sometimes you can get overrun with information, and we are aware of that. So if you were even to type in nursing at Ulster University, you'll be brought to the page on the left-hand side very, very quickly, where you can get your prospectus, the prospectus that's tailored to your needs. It outlines the programs, it outlines undergraduate life, and it outlines, for your parents or guardians, if that's appropriate, what information they would want to have in order to be sure that Ulster University is right for you. We'll go to the next slide, please, Michael. So as I said to you, if you type in nursing at Ulster, social work at Ulster, whatever it happens to be at Ulster, you'll be brought to a page that's dedicated to the program that you're looking at. Now, as was also mentioned earlier on, we really, really encourage you to view the course, because you will find key information about the modules that you'll study, about the standard entry conditions, about the careers and their opportunities that there are, and the fees and the funding, if that's appropriate. And this information is so, so valuable to you, and it's there at the click of a button, and it really helps you to get that understanding of what the program is and where this program may bring you in your life. And if you can bring that kind of information and understanding either to your personal statement or indeed to your interview, then I can assure you, you stand out from the rest. So take your future really, really seriously, as you are doing by being engaged in this access program, and learn a little bit more about the programs that we have at Ulster, because I can assure you it really makes all the difference when you come to your application. Next slide, please, Michael. And just to finalize that point, or to drive it home again, and I think it's important that I want to keep emphasizing this to you. When you come on to our website for nursing, and every program is the same, I use nursing only as a case in point. When you click the button that says modules, it will give you a few brief lines on the modules in year 1, year 2, and year 3. And I can assure you that the difference in speaking with someone who has taken the time to find out what's involved in the program and someone who hasn't is enormous. And as I say, it really makes you stand out from the crowd. Next slide, please, Michael. So I hope that that's given you some information about what's involved in the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences at Magee. And again, the last thing to say is that for all of our programs, no matter whose it is, there are contact details on the bottom where you can also ask to be contacted by us to provide you with more information. Dr. Paula Brogan's my colleague, and she's now going to speak with you about the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences.
Thanks, Jerome. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paula, and I work in the Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences faculty, as Jerome has pointed out, and I also work specifically within the School of Communication and Media based up in Jordanstown. Just to introduce you to the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, it's a bit of a mouthful. There are 6 schools which operate across all 4 campuses, and the schools that are particularly relevant to Magee are the School of Law, the School of Arts and Humanities, and the School of Applied Social and Policy Sciences. So I'm going to take you very briefly through the courses that are offered in those schools, and maybe focus more specifically on the kinds of courses that you've indicated in the chat that you're interested in. Okay, so just to point out, arts, humanities and social sciences are the types of courses that underpin our cultural, social, legal and political processes. So they're very wide and varied. So it's difficult for me to give detailed information on such a wide breadth of course, but I've included some key material that you will need if you want to apply for these or you're interested in discovering more about them. So we'll kick off with the School of Law, and the law courses that are offered at Magee are both full and part-time courses. So you can study law on its own, or you can study it with other subjects such as accountancy, Irish and marketing. Entrance is usually an A and 2 Bs, but that can vary. They are very popular courses and in being highly sought after, the entrance requirements tend to be high, but they can vary from year to year. So as Jerome's pointed out, it's really important that you check out the prospectus and make sure that you are fully informed about what it is you want to do and what you need to get into it. So the law itself, if you could maybe move on, please, Michael. A career following on from a law degree can be very varied, and I've included here some common roles which could be occupied by people who have graduated from the School of Law. So you can see there things that you would predict, like solicitor and barrister, but you also might find that your law degree would equip you in many other roles in many other industries. So having that understanding of the law and legal processes is a really important and useful qualification to have for a very wide range of possible jobs, which may be specifically related to law, as these are here. And if Michael, could you go on to the next one, please? But may also be useful, where the law degree may be useful rather than directly linked to the actual job, as you would imagine a barrister would have a degree in law. So here we've got things like stockbroker, human resources officer, and understanding the law can be very useful there. And many of our graduates work in civil service, maybe in policing, maybe giving advice, community work, that kind of thing. So as well as jobs in politics, in research and in education. And the School of Law prides itself on its cutting edge research. So it's a very vibrant and exciting school. So certainly worth you looking up, and they do indeed receive applications from folk who have completed their access qualifications. So next please, Michael. In thinking about arts and humanities courses, well, I think there's about 16 here, and you can see that there's a wide spread of course availability. In the top corner here, I've said here that there's a diverse range of studies, so cinematic arts, creative technologies, and many of those are also housed in the other campuses in Ulster University, particularly up in Belfast. However, in Magee, you can see here there are indeed cinematic arts, there's drama courses, Irish combined with drama and other subject areas such as education and marketing, music, and you can and music themselves, where you can major in music and do that in association with drama, with sound and technology. So you could be looking at the production of music within these courses, and you can see how these courses and the folk who undertake them are the people who are contributing to that vibrant culture that Maeve and Carol have alluded to, that exists in Derry, London Derry. So you can see that that these courses are the types of courses that contribute to our cultural diversity and the quality and richness of our lives. Access to most courses here is through 3 A levels, and again, check the prospectus for the details. Next slide, please. If you qualify in one of these courses, you will probably be looking for work in areas such as broadcasting, TV, radio, film. You could be working for the Education and Library Board. You could find yourself being a community arts worker or a drama therapist. Now, there may be additional training to specific therapeutic roles, but certainly these courses can give you access to that. So in the left hand of this screen, you'll see links, so you can highlight that and you can look at those types of roles to see if that's something that might grab you, because you may well be at a point where you haven't got a very clear idea yet as to what you want to do, but you want to explore possible options. So this will give you some ideas and perhaps point you in a direction which you hadn't thought about before. Next slide, please, Michael. The School of Applied Social and Policy Sciences courses. So in Magee, the school specialises in social work courses. And I noticed that some of you are interested in social work particularly. So maybe just to expand that for your information. So there are 2 programmes available in Magee. The first is a BSc Honours in Social Work, which is a 3-year full-time course. This course is run in association with the further education colleges, the Southwest College and Belfast Metropolitan College. So students who undertake this BSc Honours do the first 2 years of their course in one of those further education colleges. And then when they have completed their studies there, those first 2 years, they come up to Magee and they complete their 3rd year in Magee in the university. So it's a 3-year programme. There is another programme, an accelerated route for social workers, and that's open to application from people who have particular professional backgrounds that mean that the course is shortened for them. So I think probably from an access point of view, you would be thinking about the BSc Honours Social Work 3-year programme. The social work course itself is approved and regulated by the Northern Ireland Social Care Council, and they have responsibility and collaborate very closely with the course team to develop the training and to prepare people for this professional role, which is a regulated profession also. So recruitment into this course is via an application process. So you apply, you complete a medical, you would come for interview prior to the medical. And you would also have to undertake some access NI checks, because as you can appreciate, our role as a social worker involves work with some very vulnerable people in our society. So it's very important that folk have been checked to make sure that they're able to work with that vulnerable group. The course also involves compulsory placements, and these are set up as part of the course, and you would be allocated a placement within either statutory or voluntary or community sector agencies that have been approved to prepare trainee social workers for practice. And on completion of that course, you would be conferred fitness to practice the role of social worker. So it's a very highly sought after course, and I would say to you that it's very well worth looking at the prospectus. I've said that, I don't mean to repeat myself, but as Jerome has pointed out, you need to understand the role if you want to come to interview and communicate to the panel that you are you have considered this fully. It's also really useful if you're thinking about applying for social work that you have undertaken some other kind of work or can evidence that you are someone who maybe has experience in working in community sector organisations, maybe doing some voluntary work, so that you can evidence your interest, and it gives you a competitive edge over candidates who may not have undertaken that kind of activity. So I would encourage you to do that. Okay, so if you could please, thanks. As well as social work, there are within applied social and policy sciences courses, and if you want to look at these courses, you'll find them on the other campus webinars. Excuse me, and they'll be detailed there in more depth. But social work and the other courses will equip you for work in areas like social justice, criminology, politics and international studies. Someone with a degree in social work could find themselves working in a wide variety of industries, not just as a clinical social worker working for statutory services. So a social work degree would give you access to a wide variety of opportunity in terms of your future employment. So a very interesting course and something worth considering. The next, please, Michael. I've just summarised here for you the faculty websites so that you can go and you can look at what's on offer, and just give yourself time to reflect on this. Next, please. As Jerome has already pointed out to you, you know that you do need to familiarise yourself with the different courses that are on offer. I would also suggest that you think carefully about the kinds of things that interest you, that you migrate to, the kinds of roles that get you excited when you think about them, and the types of jobs that you've maybe done in the past, or the types of study that you've done in the past where you haven't really been lit up by it. Okay, so think about what is best aligned with you as a person, as well as your kind of thinking ambitions about what you would like from your future career. Your heart has to lie to what you want to do. So it's really important that you think it through carefully. And my final slide, I think, Michael, is to just understand that your Access course opens up a whole world to you, as Maeve said in her very first slide. And I would end this by saying there are no glass ceilings. So if you have something in mind that you think you would like to do, that you're attracted to, then absolutely go for it. Find out more about it and give it your best shot. And we would love to welcome you here to Ulster to further study whatever faculty you choose to work in. So good luck, and thanks very much for listening.
Super, Paula, thanks very much for that. So that just gives you a really quick overview of all the courses we have on offer. I just want to go through a few dates regarding your UCAS process. So the 15th of January is the deadline. Always best to get it in well before that, because other things can get in the way, and before you know it, it'll be upon you. So do get on with the personal statement. Your college will have to do a reference for you, so you're giving your lecturer more time to work at that. So the sooner you can get that in, the better. So as I say, your 15th of January is your deadline for getting your form in. Your personal statement is your real chance to sell yourself. So you have around 4,000 characters, so it's about one side of an A4 page. So get all that information in there about your previous experience, what you're interested in, what your passion is, as the guys were saying there, about why you want to get into it, your knowledge of that subject area, why you're interested in it, your enthusiasm maybe goes beyond the syllabus. So again, if you've maybe been volunteering, I know there's restrictions now, but in previous, if you can draw upon any previous experience, put all that into your personal statement, and that'll go a long way, especially for the likes of, as Joan was saying there, your nursing, and then as Paula was alluding to, in your social work. Okay, guys, and do keep in touch. There's some information just on our admissions team, admissions@ulster.ac.uk. Or get in touch with me. I've emailed you all just about the webinar today, so you'll have my email address. It was on the registration form as well for when you were registering. So anything at all that pops into your head after today's session, maybe you don't get it answered, and it comes back to you, just drop me an email and I will liaise with the guys in the different faculties there, and no doubt between us all we'll come up with an answer for you, and I will get back to you. So I think the guys there have been dealing with the chat. A couple of things have just been coming through there. Jerome, I think you've been all over it there, and Carol. So I'm pretty sure we've got everybody sorted there. If there's anything else, do feel free to make use of the Q&A. Just pop a question in there, and we'll do our best to answer it. Jerome, maybe this one's for you. This came to me just from a careers teacher. And they were just asking about the fees. I know you're nursing, it's free to study, so a student gets a bursary for that.
That's correct.
Just their bursary, they get some fee covered for their expenses and things as well, don't they?
They get that to some extent. There is a really extensive piece on the program website about that, Michael.
Okay.
There are some fees involved with bits and pieces of uniform, and as Paul had mentioned, the NI access check and bits and pieces, but
yeah.
Certainly all of the study fees are included, and there's a bursary provided as well, but there is some small amount of incidental expense that the student is expected to cover, but
yeah.
all of the items there are noted on the website.
On the website, perfect. And a really exciting time just to be going to Magee as well, as Jerome was making reference to, with the new medical school being developed there. I know it is for graduates, but just there's going to be a real hive of activity up there, and Northern Ireland's in such demand for those kind of skills that we've been oversubscribed with the applications for that. And then also, as Jerome was making reference to, with nursing, obviously a big focus on nursing at the minute through COVID, and our students have been graduated early, really in their final year, to get out, to get into practice and get into the workplace to help out in that situation. So we've been very heavily involved in that, and talking about being thrown in the deep end, they literally have been thrown in there, and they've been on the wards and getting into their practice.
Just as a case in point, Michael, I just went and had a look at that, and in about 10 seconds I found the fees are health and screening £35 to £155, depending upon what vaccinations may be required. The NI check £33, uniforms £100, practice learning handbook of £20, and life support, immediate life support certificate £45. So all of that information is
it's all there for people to get. Yeah, perfect. Okay, guys. So I'd say I can't see any sort of questions there. So I know we're kind of just about on the hour there. So I don't want to hold you back. Maybe you have to go on to class or go on and get lunch or whatever. So don't feel, in terms of the presentation and the courses and what we're covering, that's what we're aiming to get through today. And we've done that. So don't feel you need to hang on. If you've no further questions, say you can shoot on. If you do, say do drop them into the chat there, and see lots of great feedback there for you, Jerome and everybody else. So I think you've been able to cover all the questions there maybe that have been coming in from people. So that's been great. And do, as you go through, I'll just finalising this point, as you go through UCAS, there'll be different events that we'll be engaging with you, where we call applicant events. Now, they would usually take place on campus, but obviously with current restrictions, so they'll be done virtually. So as you go through the UCAS process, depending on the courses you apply for, if you apply for courses up in Magee, then you'll be invited to an applicant event. So it'll be solely, usually take place on a Saturday. It'll be done virtually, and we'll be covering then all the courses that you have applied for that are delivered on that Magee campus. And then maybe if you've applied for something else at Coleraine, then there'll be a separate day for you to log on to that session covering courses at Coleraine. So again, we'll have your details, your email address that you'll use going through UCAS, and we'll be communicating with you about that. So do come along to those sessions. They can be a real in-depth session where you'll get really detailed information at that stage on the courses. So if you're weighing up maybe a couple of different options, say within business, or you're not quite sure which ones to go for, you could be attending that applicant event, and that will give you a real good insight into the differences in the business courses, and then you could go ahead and make your firm choice or your insurance choice. Okay, so that seems to be it for today, guys. There's nothing else coming in there. So if you're all happy enough, we'll just wrap it up there. But the session has been recorded along with the other two that we've held throughout this week. So they will all be uploaded to the website. So you'll be able to go back in, maybe if there was something else that maybe you weren't sure about, and just have a listen again. So thanks very much for joining us today. Thanks very much for contributing in the chat there, which always makes it worthwhile for us all that you're engaged and you're interested in the various courses that we offer. So just best of luck in all your studies, whatever it is you go on to do, but we would love to see you at Ulster University come next year. So best of luck and take care to you all, and thank you everybody for joining today. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Carol, I think that we might be moved out of this, so we might just do it by Skype instead.
Recording, aren't we, Michael?
Yes, there's I did tell them to leave it until 22.
All right, do you want to stop recording now, Michael? Sorry.
So, yeah.